All right, we're back here with On the Spot Meet the Candidates series. We're going to open back up with Mark and finish your commentary.
We were just talking about some of the self-serving nature of what the council people who voted to overturn the people's will with term limits may be looking at. You know, it takes them 10 years to receive that city council pension. So being that they're term limited, or they should be term limited after 2 4-year terms, which would be 8 years, they're all looking to get that extra 2 years to get that full pension. So that may be one aspect of it, but I think the larger picture of it is it's just a matter of people who have this control, whether they deserve it or not, and whether they've done anything significant to enhance their communities or not. They don't want to give it up. And there are some people, and I've said it, publicly, I'll say it here, in large part, you have too many council people who are, just overrated and underskilled, to be quite frank with you. And they may be nice people, but as far as their ability to effectively govern and enhance the quality of life throughout their communities, they fail miserably when you look at it and analyze and become educated as far as the process is concerned.
Well, we're going to try to educate our viewers. And our first question we're going to come to Sister Hayes is community development. And in your platform, how would your platform benefit your community, your district?
In reference to the economic development part, there is a large amount of contracts and jobs that's coming in downtown Jamaica. And they just did a new rezoning of over 300 and some blocks of rezoning. But the key factor is, how come that you don't see our people there getting the contracts? You don't know of the bids, the RFPs, we're not receiving them.
Request for proposals.
Exactly. So therefore, I would say to them, any work that comes in, any money that comes into our district, we should have first opportunity to take part in.
Shouldn't that start through the community boards?
It should start through the community boards, but therefore, that's also why we also hire our elected officials to be mindful of that. But apparently, they've dropped the ball. Either they turned their heads the other way, and certain things are taking place. How can it be, as I said, we have the largest amount of foreclosures in the state? The reason why for that, the others did their homework because 62% of the district is made up of seniors, age 62 or older.
Okay.
So they're making them victims of it. We started with the home defenders, where we go out in reference to the foreclosures. When they was doing the foreclosures, coming in the stimulus package, there's supposed to be $75 billion for foreclosures.
That's in the city?
That's in the city.
Okay.
So here it is here, what they were doing prior to the beginning of the year, January. Every week they were auctioning off over 120 homes every Friday. We went down to the courthouse. We rallied on behalf of trying to stop the foreclosures. We went into the courtroom. Of course, we were escorted and kicked out, but we still kept coming back every week to bring attention with the Acorn.
Okay.
We came back every week to let them know, stop the foreclosures. We bid $0 because these are homes, if the money's coming down, but they were trying to auction off so quickly. And we know that we were asking for a 1-year moratorium for the homes, that to give the families a time with the money coming, that they can renegotiate and get their homes back.
Your city council member, was he involved with this?
No, he never showed up.
Was he invited?
He was invited. He was invited and never showed. The only time when there was a woman, Miss Militant, she's 73 years old, and she was losing, her home was foreclosed on. So we decided, they came up with a program, Acorn came up with a program called the Home Defenders, where we actually would go there and we would camp out and stay on her property and would not allow the marshals in.
So Acorn is the company that got the bad name in Obama race here, am I correct?
Right. Now, when it comes to that, in reference to that, they said the bad name, that because that's the Republicans that put it out there as well. If you go and do petitioning and someone signs Mickey Mouse on your petition, and they said that's my name, and you take and highlight it. When you get your petitions, you go over your petitions and they highlighted the Mickey Mouse to bring it to your attention to show that they're not trying to hide something. But in return, they're going to say, oh, well, you knew about this. You didn't bring it to their attention, but it was highlighted. That's how they knew about it in the first place.
But the Republicans had to say something.
Right, they had to say something because we were out there, and I know I was out there with them, as I said, and it was 4 degrees in February but yet we were still out there fighting at the courthouse in reference to the foreclosures. We went to the people's homes, we stayed there and we sat just so that the bank could renegotiate the mortgage with them. So she wound up keeping her home because we started bringing more and more attention to.
Okay.
So that's why we said no one really listens until someone stands up.
So did your council member come out after the fact?
At that date, we had several council elected officials there, but no, he was not there.
Okay, Mark, well, you give us your community development plan here that you have for it.
Well, one, just to piggyback on so many things that have been brought up, and I agree that there is a lot of development in different parts throughout the city, and in the Black and Latino community as well. Some might say it really is a focus on the Black and Latino communities for development. I know in the 31st District out on the peninsula, there's significant housing development that's underway there with Arvern and Arvern East and other projects, multi-million dollars. That's the point I really want to get to, because in large part what's been happening throughout the city is that individuals have been creating or allegedly creating these community benefits agreements that are not binding, that are not significant, that don't result in employment and opportunity for people who live in the community itself. And apparently some people are making some money off of it because they keep drawing up these community benefits agreements. So what we need to do as a community is to stop signing and agreeing to the typical community benefits agreement, the one for Yankee Stadium, not that type of one. The one down here at Atlantic Yards, not that one.
The one that we wasn't a part of.
That's right.
Exactly.
We have to create a format where our community benefits agreement is legally binding and is very specific, and we have to think beyond this 2 or 3 or 5 year period. Oftentimes what we focus on is the lifespan of that particular development. I don't want to do that in the 31st District. I believe that we should be planning right now for 20 years down the line.
Okay.
And we ought to be sculpting legally binding documents and holding people accountable and not approving work to be done that excludes those people who live in that particular community. Because it's all about not just jobs, it really is about careers. I was blessed to have a career in the police department. I like the idea of a career as opposed to a job where you have it for a year and a half and then you got to look for another job.
Exactly.
We should be career building and developing for our communities 20 and 30 years down, because that's what was happening 20 and 30 years ago. So we have to be a little bit more creative about it and not be afraid to think outside of the box. Don't take up this one community benefits agreement that's been used 20 times over that really has never been abided by and then recirculate it and do it again. I throw all those in the garbage and we start from scratch, and that's what I plan on doing in the peninsula in regards to a lot of developments going on there.
Okay.